You're listening to Relationships and Chill, the podcast for singles and couples about how to find and cultivate the relationship you've always dreamed of, based on trust and honest communication. Why waste your time going through the typical dating obstacle course, only to end up with drama, jealousy, and heartbreak, when you can find the love of your life and live happily ever after? So sit back, chill, and get ready to make relationships great again.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Relationships and Chill. And I'm your gracious host, R. Anthony. And today's episode, today's topic is a very interesting one because it's pretty obvious. But today's topic is, do great relationships still exist? And what I'm going to do, one little caveat I'm going to add to it, I'm going to add 6 steps or 6 suggestions that I recommend that people do on how they can get a great relationship. So lace up your boots, buckle your seatbelt, and let's get into it. Let me get my my chill music. Y'all let me know in the comments or whatever, email me some kind of way, contact me and let me know how y'all feel about the background music, because it helps me get in flow. It helps me flow out the conversation and get my thoughts together. So I like doing it, but if y'all don't like it, then let me know. Not necessarily going to change it, but I would like to hear you guys' feedback. So let's see which one I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go with this one. Let me know what y'all think. All right. Lower it a little bit. There we go. Okay. Today's episode, like I said, is, do great relationships still exist? Do they exist? Absolutely, they still exist. But here's the dilemma. Do they exist for you? And if you don't have that, then why not? How long has it been? How long have you been waiting, praying, hoping, wishing that you can find that last relationship that you will ever be in? Time is running short. And there's no point in getting into a relationship if it's not going to be your last and it's not going to be great. No point of wasting your time. No point of having all these other things in your life you feel complete and fulfilled in, you feel satisfied in. But the relationship that you're in, or the lack of the relationship that you're in. Now, this is good for singles and for couples, because you can make your relationship great with these steps or these suggestions that I'm going to make. It will absolutely change a bad relationship or a seemingly bad relationship or no relationship at all. They were actually absolutely, these are the things that I use to bring my wife to me. So I'm going to get into it without further ado. I don't want to make it too long. I know you guys got things to do, but they absolutely exist. But for you, what is your dilemma? What is causing you to not attract or to not be in a great relationship? And I'm not just talking about great for the moment. Most people get a great for the moment relationship. But what about a long-standing great relationship? One where the two people are continuously growing together. Of course, they have issues, and of course, they have to work things out. That's the progress of life. We do that individually anyway. Within our own lives, within our own selves, we have those moments where we don't feel great. Things are not going our way. Things are not feeling how they're not flowing. We have that all the time. But what do we do to progress? What do we do? How do we find someone that will work with us and that will stick with us and will help us work through those issues, and we help them work through their issues, and we grow better together? Because there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of girls, a lot of females out there, a lot of ladies that will absolutely waste your time. You're setting yourself up, or you're wasting time on and expectations on someone who has no intentions of working with you long term. They're actually temp workers. I did some temp work not too long ago, and boy, when I tell you temp work is hard work, it is some of the hardest work you'll ever do, because you don't know when the last day is. But when you got a contract or when you got a secure position, you're pretty secure in that position. You know, okay, I'm going to be here for a while. But when you have your own, you're going to be there forever. So that's what you want. You want your own business, so to speak, in this regard. And you want it to be great. You want it to be fun. You want it to be exciting. But you know, just the process of life, that things don't always feel good or feel great. So, but there could potentially be some things that are holding us back from greatness. And in a great relationship, it's going to require a certain aspect of yourself to come forth. Certain things that you didn't think you would have to do. Certain things that you didn't believe were possible for yourself to do are going to have to come forth. And so with that mindset, a lot of people stop because they don't want to give more than this much to a relationship. So they keep attracting, they keep gravitating towards people who are only going to take so much and only give so much in return. But for this, you got to be all in or not. Great relationships require all, not a portion. They require all of you. So you got to be prepared to give all of you. You got to be prepared to invest all of you. But it doesn't come at the expense of you feeling like you gave something or something was taken away from you. Because the part of the mind of greatness is you can't take something away from me, because I'm only going to get better. I'm only going to progress. I'm never going to lose, because I'm always moving and I'm always growing. This is the mentality. This is not even the first step. This is just a background mentality that you have to have in order to move, not only just in greatness in a relationship, but in greatness in all areas of life, where you don't feel like you can lose. There is no loss. Everything is a gain. Everything is a potential moving forward to the next thing for you internally. Step one, the first thing we got to do once we get the mentality is we have to, when we get the greatness mentality, what we have to do is we have to identify and admit past mistakes and past problems. We can't overlook the things that have happened before and just gloss over them and skate over them and think that, okay, well, that's in the past, so I'm just going to let it go. No, here's the thing. When you go to the bank or you go try to get a car, the first thing they're going to ask you is, I want to see your past. Show me your credit report. Your credit report is a list of transactions that you've had in the past, because it dictates to them whether you're worthy or not of them taking the risk to give you this car or give you this money. If they see and deem that you're not credit worthy, they're not going to give you the credit. You're not going to get the car. You're not going to get the loan. You're not going to get the house. You're not going to get any of those things that you're desiring. So it's very important that we go back and we say, hey, what did I do in the past? What can I take blame for? Because the only way to gain true power and true greatness, the only way to gain true greatness is to gain power. That power comes from taking blame, taking responsibility for your own actions. Now, you can't take responsibility for somebody else's actions, but your actions and the things that you've done to adjust to those actions are totally up to you. How you respond to things are totally up to you. What people do, you have no bearings on that. You can't change that. You can forgive them and hope for the best for them, and that's about it. You can try to get closure. You definitely want to get closure, but if closure is not available, then you just have to accept that you can't get closure, but close it off. Close it off anyway. Find a way to close it off by forgiving and allowing that person to have whatever you feel that you gave to them or what they took from you. You have to allow that. The past is very important. It matters. It absolutely matters. Things that are triggers now were started somewhere. Things that we withdraw and retract from people, those are things that matter, because I can't give you something in my hand if I got my hand clenched and I am unwilling to release or unwilling to open so that you can see, or even that I can see, because I don't even know what's in my hand if it's been clenched for so long. I don't know if it's melted. I don't know if it's rotted. I don't know anything about it. If I've had it for so long, and people hold on to things for 20, 30, 40 years, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And they wonder why they keep attracting the same things that they're attracting. You have to open up that hand and see what's in there. And you have to take responsibility for your part. The second thing, after you do that, after you go through that painful process, because that is a painful process for a lot of people. A lot of people it's a denial process. But after you get through that and just admitting that the past matters, you will move into decide. You have to make a decision at this moment from this day forward. You have to make an active decision that you will only accept a great relationship. From now on, you will not accept anything less than a great relationship. Now, here's the thing. Whenever you decide to do something, if you want to go to school to become a doctor, you have to first make a decision that, hey, I'm going to go to school to become a doctor. But it has to be a realistic expectation. I can't say I'm going to be a doctor next week. I'm going to go to school this week and then I'll be a doctor next week. No, you have to look at the time frame that desire is requiring, and what level of education, or what level, if I want to become a doctor, what level of education does it require for me, and hours and everything like that, to become a doctor. So I make a decision, but I also have to look at what are the requirements for me to get there. What do I need to do? How do I need to adjust myself? And if we go through and do step one, we'll see, okay, we need to start making some adjustments. We need to start doing things a little bit different. We don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but this next step I'm about to give you, step 3, will help you do both. You will define what a great relationship is and what it is to you. Because what will happen is you'll go and you'll run across a lot of relationships, but the problem with that is you don't have the details, the day-to-day transactions, the interactions on a day-to-day basis of how that couple runs. That's why it's very important that you guys continuously make sure you subscribe and check out all the content on Instagram, YouTube. Definitely subscribe here on iTunes or whatever platform you're using to continuously get information and clearer definitions of what it means to be in a great relationship. You have to study, you have to learn this stuff. It's not something that you're just gonna casually run across and it's just gonna magically happen. No, nothing magically happens except for what you make happen. You don't magically grow a garden one day just from wishing you had a garden. No, you have to do certain things, and then the magic happens after you do. The results are the magic after you take the steps. Be very specific in what you want. Do not worry about what you don't want. Focus on what you want. Don't be vague. Be very specific. If I want to grow tomatoes, I have to get tomato seeds. And if I want legacy seeds, I have to get legacy or heirlooms or whatever type of seeds I want. I have to be very specific about what I want because the options are unlimited. But I have to know what I want and stick to that. Write that down. Get your journal. Get something where you can write down your list or your idea of what a great relationship is to you, and your part in the great relationship is very important. It's very important to know what you plan to bring to the table, not just what they are going to be bringing to you. You got to know what you have to offer to that person. Nobody just wants to have all these great qualities and characteristics, and you just coming to the table with a list of wants. You got a list of demands like a terrorist. And most people don't negotiate with terrorists. I know I don't. The United States of America, we don't negotiate with terrorists. And no, you got to know what you got to offer. Don't be a terrorist for love. Don't be a terrorist for a great relationship. Have something great to offer that will be of benefit to the person that you are desiring. And then the definition of what you're defining, you're defining what you want. That also means that you have to define what you plan to give. It's better to give than it is to receive. But it's still great to receive. You still got to receive. You can't just expect to give and never have nothing to replenish what you've been given. But what we're working on is how to always be full and how to always be in a position of giving. Great always gives. It takes, of course, but it's always willing and ready to give because there is no limit to greatness. You get greater and greater and greater until the day you stop being great or decide not to be great by not doing great things. So we got to be clear. We got to be very clear about what we want. We also have to be very clear about what we have and stand to offer to the person that we're desiring. So step 4, or suggestion 4, you got to discipline yourself to your commitment to a great relationship. You have to be disciplined in only accepting what you just said or defined that you want. You have to be disciplined. That is one of the key things that we don't do, especially here in America. We are probably the least disciplined people on this planet. When it comes to, we have so much opportunity here, but we don't even capitalize on 2% of it because we're socialized to accept whatever our close-knit circle or our influences say is acceptable. And most of the time, once you get that feeling, you don't even want it anymore. It's just a feeling that we're after. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling of wanting to be appreciated or wanting to be loved or whatever. But once that feeling is satisfied, that's when people's true color starts coming out. Once the feeling has been satisfied of, I don't have somebody to pay me attention, and then you get somebody to pay you attention. Now you don't want the attention anymore. Now you want that person to do. You want them to fix the faucet. You want them to take you out every weekend. You want to go to the club. You want to do all these different things now that you've gotten that part satisfied. We have very short attention spans here, which causes us to lack discipline. And therefore, we never get the overall results that we're looking for. We get a little bit of results and we think we got it. We are off to the races. You can't tell me nothing when I lose about 5 pounds. Oh man, I'm thinking I'm 18 again, but I'm a long way from 18. But I feel like it. If I lose 5 pounds, I feel like I'm about 18 again in my mind. So we gotta discipline ourselves. We gotta limit the things that we allow. We gotta limit the influences that we allow into our headspace and that we take in. Because if we want to take in good, we can't take in bad with it. We want to take in greatness, we can't take in lackluster performance with it. We have to focus on what's great. That means limiting your TV watch time, the things you listen to, the music you listen to. Those things contribute to where you are today. You've been listening to the same music since 82. You're getting the same results. So we got to figure out, well, that's another podcast, obviously, that I'm going to have to do about influences. But we have to look at the things that we've always been doing. It's very similar. We go to work, come home, cook, clean, and watch our TV and go to sleep. Get up in the morning, go to work, listen to our music or our gossip on the radio or whatever. Repeat cycle, wash, rinse, repeat. And then we wonder why on the weekends we feel exhausted. We really haven't done anything but really eat mental desserts all week and work. We're working on fumes. So we got to limit our influences. We have to limit the things that we allow in, especially if they're contrary to what a great relationship looks like for us. If it doesn't look like a great relationship for us, we cut it off. we get rid of it, because we're not going to have anything jeopardize a great relationship. That means the painful music that people listen to when they break up and all that. We don't need that. We know what it feels to break up, and we need to listen to some positive stuff like Relationships and Chill. And we need to continuously feed on that so we can bring that good energy into our life. It's like a diet. When you're eating horribly, you don't even know how horribly you're eating until you start eating good. When you start eating good, you're like, man, I feel amazing. But then when you fall back off the wagon, you're like, man, this food got me. You feel that itis immediately. That itis will kick you. That itis will kick you into a coma. So you definitely got to make sure you limit the influences and the things that you have coming in by disciplining yourself and just seeing the difference. Just seeing the difference between not listening to certain things and listening to podcasts and stuff like Relationships and Chill. We got to see what's the difference. How does it affect what I'm attracting, what I'm getting, how I feel, what I'm looking at, how am I looking at things? And then we don't get what we're not disciplined for. So whatever if you want a nice body, if you are not disciplined, you're not disciplining yourself to eat right and exercise, you're not going to get a nice body. You're not going to get that nice body you're desiring. But we have to, in the definition phase, I also wanted to make sure we imagine what we want to see. We have to see ourselves being that. We have to see ourselves in love. We have to see ourselves with the ideal candidate, that ideal person that we're going to spend the rest of our life and the rest of our great relationship with. Because we can discipline ourselves to see that. We can discipline ourselves to constantly go back to that moment. Because when we lack discipline, it causes us to make and repeat the same mistakes that we made over again. Because our lack of discipline is what got us to the position that we're in. Our lack of discipline is what gets us out of shape. Discipline is the only thing that will get us back into shape. Discipline is the only thing that will keep us from entering into bad relationships, allowing negative, bad relationships to enter into our life, because we're not disciplined in what we actually want and sticking to it no matter what. We also, number 5, that was number 4. Number 5, we're going to work on the things that we've been telling ourselves we needed to do. I don't care how long ago it was. You told yourself you need to go back to school. You told yourself you need to eat right. You told yourself you need to read this book. You told yourself you need to start going to church or whatever it is. Those things are important. They're very important. All those promises, all those deals you made to yourself, all the things you told yourself internally are important. It really boils down to the discipline aspect. Going back to what you said you were going to do and being disciplined in those things, because what tends to happen, and it's only one more after this, but what tends to happen is we tell ourselves things. We start on them or we don't start on them. But the things that we don't complete are the anchor for that part of your life to remain there. For you to remain in that part of your life for a continued long period of time. You stay there. You remain there until that thing that you're trying to accomplish is completed. Because what happens when we want something, the Most High, the universe, whatever you want to call it, gives us a package. And in that package, and you feel it on the inside, okay, like, why? I don't know why, but I feel like I need to read this book. I need to go to the gym and start working out. I need to start eating right. I need to start going to the library, or I need to go start studying. I need to do a certain amount of things because they're attached to what we have asked for. They're attached to it. Now, when we neglect certain things, we don't receive the full benefits of that package. because we didn't meet the requirements, the full requirements that package called for. So we get a small portion of the thing that we desired, and that creates a feeling of somewhat fulfillment. But it's not fulfillment until it's actually achieved and you've moved to the next phase. But we have stuff from 3-4 phases ago that we still haven't completed and finished. And we wonder why we only have a certain part of what we asked for, been praying for, been thinking about, been wanting, been longing, desiring for the longest. We have to go back and we have to go to the things. That's why I did this podcast. I was supposed to be doing this stuff years ago. A long time ago, I told myself I was supposed to be teaching and talking about different things, especially on the spiritual side, which I'm doing, incorporating into relationships and chill. And I'm going to move on to the next level once I get to a certain level. But I was supposed to been did this, but I didn't. So it caused me to repeat a lot of cycles that I shouldn't have had to repeat. It caused me to miss out on a lot of things that I desired and wanted to get. But now I'm starting to see the profits. I'm starting to see when you're in tune and you're in flow and you're in the proper position and doing the things you're supposed to do, it happens fast. One great thing about doing it is it builds that confidence. It's an amazing feeling when you start going back and doing the things, especially things that have been lingering inside of your heart for a long time. The things that you neglected, the things that you've been saying you were going to do for a while, that you have not done. When you start moving in that direction, you start doing those things, your confidence starts to regain. You have a whole new level of confidence. You have a whole new level of clarity. You have a whole new level and desire to study and to learn. You have a whole new level of discipline. You just on it. You're just on it, like boom, boom, boom. You're doing it. And it's a great feeling. It makes you want to continue to work on the things that you've been saying and not just say you're going to do things and not do it. It makes you want to stay on top and be on your P's and Q's. And as you're doing these things, I'm going to go back over it right quick. You identify and admit past problems. You have to make a concrete decision that you will only accept a great relationship. You have to define what a great relationship means to you. You have to discipline yourself to your commitment to a great relationship and do the things required to meet the expectation of a great relationship, so to speak. And you have to work on the things that you've told yourself that you were going to do in the past. And it builds that confidence up, builds that discipline, builds that clarity. It just and then you start attracting and seeing things totally different. You start attracting a different layer and different level of new people into your life, so that you don't have to create a reason why you made these mistakes or why this person did that to you or why this person didn't do this. You won't have that responsibility to take, because you'll be taking the responsibility right at that moment. So you're digging through the past and getting all that stuff out of the way in order to rebuild and to grow something new. That's why step 1 is so vitally important. Do not overlook step 1. It is the most important step in all of these steps. Last but not least, you got to be patient. I don't care how long it takes. You got to be patient and you got to be disciplined to that patience, because it happens fast. But it happens fast in a way that time is not a factor. When you add that layer of patience, the process is gonna make you be patient anyway, because you're gonna try to speed it up and you're gonna mess it up again. You can't pull a cake out the oven when the directions tell you to leave it in for 20 minutes and you taking it out in 5. I don't care how hot your oven is, it's gonna be off. It's gonna be either burnt or it's not going to be cooked enough. You got to put it on the right temperature and let it sit in there till the directions say that it's complete. Any time faster than that, you got yourself an incomplete cake. But the way the Most High works is at the right time, in the right situation, you'll be right in the right place and the magic happens. That's been today's episode. Relationships and Chill, R. Anthony. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like this. Give us some feedback. Give us some ratings. Tell us what you think. Tell me what you think about this episode and any other episode. What episode has been your favorite so far? Hit me up on Instagram and let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think at Relationships and Chill. That's Instagram at Relationships and Chill. And of course, like I said, iTunes, YouTube, Relationships and Chill TV. That's Relationships and Chill TV. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. It's been real. It's been good. It's been real good. Sorry, Anthony, I'm out. Peace.
Thanks for listening to Relationships and Chill. For more information on cultivating the relationship of your dreams, please follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Relationships and Chill, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Relationships and Chill TV. You can also visit our website at www.relationshipsandchill.com. Together, let's make relationships great again.